Hi, welcome to another video on my pneumatic hand and robotic arm. Last time I was dealing with the pivot motor to turn the base of the arm around its axis. Due to experiments I found out that this was the right solution. However, despite being the right motor and the correct distance to have it all turn, and that it does, the problem is this flexibility. So what I want to try in this episode is to eliminate just that flexibility. And if you look at the way this is going, this is one problem, but the red part, which consists of no less than 4 parts on 2 sides, is not a problem. So with that said, I want first to replace these black parts, see if that diminishes the flexibility in the first place. And in order to accomplish that, I first have to take out the motor. Oops. This part is here now. I want to keep things together. And here we are. So this is 1, and this is 2, and these parts have notches on both sides. So I will take these parts as a replacement. And then I hope, let's first see again on what distance they should be. Which is indeed here. So this is the correct distance. That is 1. That is 2. And then I'll have to see what difference it does make. If any. So there you go. A little replacement. And it is already less flexible. As intended. The question is, how does it keep itself? So let's do a test. The program is set, so let's run it. And here it goes wrong. It slips in a massive way. It has the right speed, kind of, but I also noticed something else. Okay, let's keep it like this. I see another problem. Let's stop it. If it touches, if the gears connect, it touches this block. So they're too close together somehow. And that is obviously not the intention. Let's run it again. This is too flexible still. But it hardly grabs. This way it does grab, so in itself that is okay. But then again, the timing isn't correct because it goes looking down the motor counterclockwise much longer than clockwise. And that is obviously not the intention. So let me manually turn the arm again. And let us observe the timing once again. And then I do notice as well that this distance is not of very high influence. So let's run again. Counterclockwise, clockwise, and immediately counterclockwise. Okay, this is far from good. So I need to see the code why this timing is working this way, that the counterclockwise is much longer than clockwise. Well, that is obviously not the intention. Let's put it back again. This flexibility is still there, which is not very nice either. But for now, I'm afraid that is kind of all I can have, construction wise. So let's go see the code. So looking at the code, this is the pivot motor, and here it turns clockwise for 1 second, and here it turns counterclockwise also for 1 second. and in both times, so this is motor 6, not motor 6, but actually the second motor on the interface extension, which makes it number 6. Direction being clockwise, speed 1. Exactly the same except for the direction, which is counterclockwise. So where does it go wrong? Set output is something different from set motor. And if I look at the interface, motor 6, which is motor 2 on the interface, has then outputs 3 and 4. However, the interface itself has outputs 1 to 8, so that would have been outputs 11 and 12. However, that is only if you want to use one output. I am using the total motor output, so that is 6. Then here also outputs and motor, but this is motor 5 and this is motor 5, and I have no other occurrence of motor 6. So why is then this is motor 1, motor 1, motor 1, motor 1 and motor 1. Everything is motor 1 except we want motor 6. So that is obviously not the cause. What I can do is put this one here as well. And then I say motor 6 is let's say clockwise. Then I can delete this one. However, I think it is better to put this line here and then here counterclockwise. Let's see what happens with this. It just prints them in 1 second, which is quite logical. But it makes no sense at all. No sense at all. This is not fulfilling its purpose. Let me take a closer look. So at first it goes one way, then subsequently it goes another way, one after another. It does everything it should do. It does everything it should do. Now, what if I change the algorithm and remove this and put it right here? And now, because I changed the indent to here, it is outside of this if statement and inside this while. So this should definitely make a difference. It goes clockwise for 1 second, it goes through the ifs, and then at the end of the ifs it goes counterclockwise. So let's see what difference that makes in theory. Because there's no input to the interface. So I press something which makes the compressor go. Now I press finger number 5 and there you go. Once again, the digital 1. Yes, I press the thumb. Digital 5. And there you see that it does work somehow. However, does it work in practice with the motor? And I think we can only see that when we go to camera. So let's just do that. Go to camera and excuse my cough. So the compressor runs. All the other things run as well. Let me show you. The motor up and down gear clearly work. And let's see here. Actually it has gone reverse. So now clockwise is working now quite a bit longer than counterclockwise. So let me point the camera to the hand. I will press that one. And we should take a close look to the lower gear, to the pivot gear. What will happen? The lower finger again. And I keep pressing the finger. And as you can see, it now does it very short after another. And now I let it loose and it keeps running. So I think the conclusion is that that the running time now depends on every switch being pressed, every sensor being pressed, and that only then the whole thing is as intended. So let me just put this into gear, literally. And this is a problem because this gear has gone lower than intended. Let me just try to shift it in. And that is hard enough so far. Yes, that is certainly hard enough. And I keep pressing the valve finger again. And then I remove the wire a little bit. So I hope you can see the behavior of that pivot gear. As long as I keep pressing that finger sensor, it behaves as it should. Now I let it go and it keeps running. And so I have to find some solution for that. So while everything is still working, I had a hiccup here from the interface. And I'm pressing the thumb sensor now. Which for some reason does not respond. Nope, it doesn't respond at all. I think the interface had a hiccup, so I stop it. And I start again to see whatever has happened. Pressing the finger. Nothing happens. Okay, that hiccup I showed you, I think the interface got problems, so I have to disconnect the interface for a moment by USB disconnecting, connecting again, and let's see what happens. And pressing the finger again, and do me a favor and work. Okay, another try. and I have to manually put some things into action. Okay, let's do it again. Pressing the sump. Now it does work. Things don't always go as planned. And now I want the finger action. Waiting, waiting, waiting. There's the signal. But no air yet. Anyway, this is what can happen during live experiments. And the thing is, I think that I do need a difference for both here and here. Everything works on an if, and these two don't. So I should say maybe that if digital is anything else but or everything else then what is already doing, this should work. But it still does not explain why this time sleep clockwise goes on and on, and this doesn't. And the other way, before changing this, it was exactly the other way around, so it doesn't make any sense to me. I can give it a little try. But then again, I would have to catch every digital input. So then I would have to say, if not digital this or digital that or such or so, which is actually exactly the same as no if. So I'll have to figure this out. In the meantime, the stability has improved, but not quite, which was the intention. And gone with the compressor noise. I think two things for the next episode. Dealing with the T-digital for the pivot motor, and see if that indeed solves the weirdness around clockwise counterclockwise, and further seem to improve the setup of the motor, because the red part is still too flexible. So for now, thank you for watching, and to be continued.